You're watching History Never Forgets, where I use photographs and stories from my travel to give you a glimpse of our past and try to connect the dots with the modern era. I am Rahmatullah Sheikh. The first in the series of this photo essay is from my recent trip to Georgia, where I came across the first and only functioning mosque in the capital city of Tbilisi. This is an exceptionally beautiful mosque. Its outer facade is made of red bricks, which is not too common in mosque architecture. But it does not stand out from its neighboring setting, which is what makes it very compelling. The mosque sits quietly in the corner of a cobbled path, the tallest minaret stretched out into the sky, a bit different but in complete harmony and continuity with its surroundings. It enjoys prime location in the heart of the old city. On the one side, it is flanked by an expansive botanical garden, which in itself is a treat to the eyes. And on the other side of the mosque is the sulfur bath complex. When you enter the mosque, you realize that the interior of this place is dazzling blue. In fact, I think it's turquoise blue, which gives it a royal yet calming effect. But I'm not an expert in colors, and turquoise just happens to be my favorite. Other elements within this mosque seem the usual, till you look more closely. This mosque in Tbilisi has the rare reputation of serving both the Sunni and the Shia strands of Islam. It's rare because both the communities pray in separate mosques throughout much of the world. What you see here is a shelf full of stones or clay tablets that is an integral part of prayer for the Shias. They prostrate their head on this, and it is usually made from the soil of Karbala, a holy site for the Shias. I met a few caretakers in the mosque and they were very welcoming. On my first visit, I met Sheikh Haji Wagif, who is originally from Azerbaijan. I also went for the Friday prayers and it was packed with worshippers. There, I met another staff. He wasn't too comfortable facing the camera, so I obliged. From the little Arabic that I understood, he told me that he had completed his Islamic studies from Turkey and was now taking care of this place of worship. Just an aside here, one of the caretakers I spoke to is a Sunni and the other a Shia. But you can't really distinguish between the two until they tell you themselves, which I found to be pleasing, especially in these times of sectarian paranoia. But you know what's the most interesting thing that I understood from my interactions? It's that despite the mosque having a long history, this place kept a low profile for a very long time, and the reason will become obvious in a few minutes. Though the origins of Islam in Georgia can be traced as far as the 8th century, this particular mosque in Tbilisi was built in the 18th century, sometime between 1723 to 1735. What's fascinating is that this mosque survived the heat of communism in Georgia. Religion was a flashpoint within this ideology, and the purges of communism had spared few religious symbols. Tbilisi had come under the Soviet rule and influence in 1917 after the October Revolution. The long phase under the USSR also involves the iron fist rule of Joseph Stalin, who, just by the way, was of Georgian origin and started his rebellious activities early in his years here in Tbilisi. The period of Soviet rule is a grim one in the country's history, and in fact, there is a museum of Soviet occupation in the Georgian National Museum that gives us an idea of their struggle for independence. In Georgia, Soviet rule ended with the breakup of the USSR in 1991. It marked the decline of a socio-political philosophy in the mainstream that many held close to their hearts. Is it surprising then that this mosque that I visited was kept under the wraps for the better part of Georgia's modern history, What's in fact surprising is that the mosque actually survived the upheavals that came with a political system that has complete disdain for religion, or at least the public practice of it. There's a fascinating figure from history. His name is Kim Philby. He was basically a double agent, officially working for the British intelligence services MI6 during the Cold War period, but actually colluding with the KGB, the secret service arm of Soviet Union. Kim Philby passionately believed that communism was the way forward for our world. In his autobiography, My Silent War, he says, "I have no doubt about the verdict of history. Advances which 30 years ago I hoped to see in my lifetime may have to wait a generation or two. But as I look over Moscow from my study window, I can see the solid foundations of the future I glimpsed at Cambridge." He died in 1988, 4 years before the fall of Soviet Union. It was 2016 when I visited this mosque in Tbilisi, a city that was once upon a time a communist stronghold. And as I sat in that enchanting atmosphere during the Friday prayers, looking outside the mosque window, I thought to myself, Kim Philby may have been wrong after all.
A humble slave I am of an almighty Lord. No work is too hard for that one who's adored.
If you've watched this till the end, then I truly thank you. It must have taken some patience. This video is written, narrated and edited by me, Rahmatullah Sheikh. If you liked what you just watched, hit the like button and share it with your friends. But more importantly, use the comment section below to tell me how I can improve my videos in the future.